Out of all the phones we've been playing with for 2017, the Moto Z2 Force seems to be one of the more controversial internally here at Pocketnow. I've spent my first 24 hours with this slim, sexy smartphone, and I've got some early thoughts to share. Cracking this thing out of the box, it definitely gives off a startling first impression. This definitely recalls that first hands-on I had with the original Moto Z. Motorola is only releasing one phone this year. There aren't separate Z and Z Force devices with different focuses for different audiences. As far as Motorola is concerned, the killer feature of the original Z Force wasn't the larger battery, it was the shatter-resistant display. Ultimately, I think Motorola is correct in taking the most impressive features of those two phones and cramming them into one device. But it wouldn't be a Pocketnow video if we didn't point out that that combination will come with a few compromises. We shot some unboxing footage just so you could see what actually comes in the packaging, and I am a little disappointed to see that there are a few omissions. Just like last year's Moto Z, the Z2 Force does not have a headphone jack, so we're gonna have to depend on this little dongle here. It seems to be the same audio hardware as what we had with last year's phones. We're gonna be running a real audio review just to test this out too, but unlike HTC, you're not gonna get a pair of earbuds in the box. And compared to last year's phone, the other omission is kind of bumming me out more than I think it really should. Last year's Moto Z came with this faux wood panel back that you could slap on. Didn't provide any functionality, but it at least obscured these pogo pins. You didn't have to worry about the sort of techier guts of your Moto Z being shown off. You know, I shouldn't be too cranky. There are a lot of deals out there to get yourself a Moto mod in addition to the phone, a lot of these pre-sales and pre-orders, but there was just something really nice about a simple backplate covering, which, you know, we've got this 360 camera that we're gonna be cracking into and playing with also, and I just don't see where, oh, I've got to take this piece off right there. Like, get rid of that. But I just don't see where I'm gonna be keeping my phone like this all the time. That's not to say that the Z2 doesn't deliver a cleaner look than the original Z. This brushed metal finish on the backplate, this definitely looks nicer. From an engineering standpoint, it is impressive when you can hold this phone up against an iPhone and it's significantly thinner and it feels thinner, and it's not some trick of just bending glass, but I'm not gonna play that game, is it too thin? It feels good in the hand, it feels sturdy, and it's definitely gonna impress when you hand it to someone else. The Moto setup process is blissfully easy, not a lot of extra stuff to churn through, just one extra permission that you need to grant Motorola's custom software on board. You're off and running, and it's a very pixel-like experience. It's crazy snappy, just sliding through the UI, moving through home screens, pulling up the Google Now sidebar. I mean, it populates really quickly and just buttery smooth in getting you from page to page, obviously before I've weighted it down with all of my various social media networks and multiple email accounts. Let's wrap up a few more of my concerns though. This version of the plastic screen seems to have a little bit more of an oil slick-like coating on top. All of Motorola's Shatter Shield products have had a similar effect, but this is a bit more pronounced than what I remember from the Z Force last year. And I hadn't been using the phone more than a couple hours before I already have a little nick in the upper left-hand corner of this top bezel here. That's disappointing. I hope it's not indicative of this screen experience. This is fresh out of the box. It's 1 day old and I already have that one little thing that I can't unsee on the front face. In this first day, I also haven't figured this out yet, the separation between the home button and the on-screen controls. I was really hoping there would be an easy system to employ like on the Moto G5 where you can use the home button as a multi-purpose button. Swipe it, long press it, double tap it, and that would double as your back, your home, and your multitasking keys. But I haven't found a way to activate a setting like that on this phone, and I'm sure someone's gonna school me in the comments and it's really easy to find, and I just don't know where to look. Really early impressions, but I'm already impressed by the dual camera system on the back of this phone. This is already a noticeable improvement over my experiences with the first Moto Z. I'll be curious to see how it compares against the original Z Force. Improving the clarity and contrast of every single photo you take as opposed to trying to implement some kind of zoom or wide angle feature. And I gotta say, Motorola's camera app has been nicely simplified and refined. Very easy to get to your basic settings. The viewfinder is free from a lot of distracting clutter, and it's super easy to navigate. Very well done there. I'm actually really looking forward to taking this camera out for a spin for our real camera review. Over 24 hours though, I am already concerned about the smaller battery capacity. While I was wrapping up another video, this phone sat unused for almost 6 hours. I was connected to Wi-Fi, just updating a single email address. I hadn't installed any other apps or logged into any other services, and the phone drained about 10% of its battery. Now, this is very early usage, this is first day usage, but that's not very confidence inspiring. Right off the bat, there's a lot to like about this phone, but I'm having a hard time shaking one of those core questions that I've had with every idea of the modular phone. And there is something really cool about that idea. For those times that I want to change the functionality of my phone, I pop off the battery mod, I slap on this camera mod, and now I have a different device. I have different capabilities. When there are times I think I might want a 360-degree camera, this takes up more space when I'm thinking about what I need to carry in my pockets or what I can throw in my wife's purse. I absolutely trust that Motorola's software game is on point, that they're gonna have some great features to use with this camera. But when I wanna carry an additional accessory with me, I just have a hard time not thinking that I could just pop in something in the USB port that could achieve very similar functionality and hopefully also take up just a little less surface area. I have a lot of questions that I need to answer over the next week as we produce our full review on this phone. And if there's anything that you want to know about this device, definitely drop us a comment down below this video so you can get the full scoop on the Moto Z2 Force. As always, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like these and help us out with some sharing on your favorite social networks. For Pocketnow, I'm Juan Carlos Bagnell, some gadget guy on Twitter and Instagram. And I will catch you all on the next video.